to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America. It's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
Well. Shall we get this dance started? Oh, and I changed the thumbnail? I probably didn't. Oh, I did. Look at that. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. And welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel, where we are going to talk about why it's Trump's own fault that people are trying to put bullets in him. That seems to be the general consensus in the media world, because you know, it's his fault. It's the Republicans' violent rhetoric that is getting Trump these attempts, these people trying to put him down like a dog, like they did with that Illuminati whatever guy. I don't know what his name was. But anyway, that seems to be the consensus. And it's really kind of weird because it's almost as though some of these people have zero self-awareness about the stuff they say about him. Like the fact that he is an existential threat to democracy and all that other stuff. It's the cognitive dissonance, the lack of self-awareness is astounding. And I've even told a few people that over the last couple of days. Oh, and they had, this guy. That's the guy. He's got a whole bunch of, there's a whole bunch of wild stuff going about him. We showed you the video yesterday. What's the guy's name? The conspiracy, the guy had the conspiracy stuff. I have some bookmarks too that I forgot to put in the links today. By the way, yesterday's links, when I was trying to put them in the chat, I didn't make it. So it did make it into yesterday's video eventually. Had a little glitch, so to speak. So you'll have to figure that out. Also, kind of wild. Martha Raddatz, whatever, ABC News. She actually fact-checked something that kind of surprised me. So we'll get to that too, because it's rather remarkable that ABC News is now going back and fact-checking some of the things that happened during the debate. By the way, it was just a debate. And you'll get, in fact, this answer. Do you remember when, I think it was the debate and when it was a Democratic presidential primary debate. And Kamala Harris was talking about how Joe Biden was such a racist. He's just told a little story about her being on the bus. It was that little girl on the bus that was bused to another school in Berkeley, California, when she forgot that she was on the good side of town. Anyway, and she afterwards, and when she decided to accept the vice presidential job from Joe Biden, nominee or whatever, and they asked her about it, and she's like, it was just a debate. It was just a debate. Well, it's interesting because one of her advisors has a similar take on something that happened in the debate between her and the guy with the funny hair. So we'll get to that. I'm going to get to all this stuff, I promise. Let's say hi to everybody and get going, because I'm sure time's limited, time's wasted. Why is this not? Oh, there we go. I didn't hit enter. Oh, that's why it didn't pop up. That makes a lot of sense. So let's say hi to everybody. First in the chat today, of course, Mr. Avocados Diablo, who tried to beat me, but he couldn't do it. Not today, Satan. No, Avocados Diablo is not Satan. No, he's not. Okay. Also, good morning, Kara Soldier. I'm sorry, man. I love you. Kara Soldier, good morning. Also, Ravon Harris is in the house. Somnambul Nation, thanks for tweeting out the show like you always do. That is awesome. Also, good morning to JB, who is in the house. Lord Stanhope is here. Where is everybody? Amazing Disgrace. I did it in a different key. Definitely out of my range. Johnny Boomer Tex here. of course, because, Special Can Acid, what's up? Nice to see you. Attack Alpaca, what's up? Anonymity, T2 Albibach is here. Maddie's in the house. Nice to have you, Maddie. Plague Trucker Zach is here. Shrapnel's in the house. My favorite Canadian Jaeger pony is here. Good morning. And that might be it. That was my Romper Room roll call for anyone who knows what Romper Room is. Does any of you know what Romper Room is? I'm not even 100% sure that was a national show. When I was a kid, there was a show on called Romper Room, and it was just a kid's show. They told stories and whatever, and they read books on the air. And at the end of the show, the lady who was running Romper Room, the lady on Romper Room would say hi to kids' names, in the audience. She'd be looking into the camera, pretending she could see you, and say hi to this person, this person. And they never said Marty. It always kind of pissed me off, because that's one of those names that, for whatever reason, doesn't make it onto the little, license plate keychains and whatever. They never said Marty. And I was like, it was really annoying, Billy and David and Jennifer and Laura and this, yeah. Bitch never said Martin, not even Martin, and that's the other thing. So I complain about this a lot because I don't understand it. Martin was a pretty common name, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. There's saints. The saints' names are always pretty popular names in the English language, but for some reason, it was really hard to find Marty. Anytime you go to those gas station places, like I said, keychains or whatever, they'd have a big old rack of them. They'd have all the names. You'd be scrolling up and down the names. They have boys' names on one rack and girls' names on another rack. Never Marty, not even Martin. And it was always annoying. And I never went by Martin, because Martin, although it was my legal name when I was born, my legal name changed when I was adopted, but my parents just kept calling me Marty because I was 4 years old and they didn't want to confuse me, but they changed my legal name. So, whenever I had to write something out legal, I'd write my name out, right? So anyway, wait, buckets tied to shoes. What does that mean? Something's going on here. Anyway, so, what was my point? Yeah, that's what they used to do on Romper Room, and I kind of do it on this show every day, but I actually see who's here before I say their name, and that is probably the best way to do it. So here's the tip jar link, linked pinned to the top of the chat there if you want to donate to the show. You are the Morning Light Live The Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please sponsor the show in whatever way you can, but the best ways are hitting the like button and share the stream. If you can do that, get a couple people join us every once in a while, we might get up to 100 people per show. And I'm going to start pushing that. I'm going to start, again, go back to having guests and stuff, but that would be nice if y'all can help me out anytime you can. Also, share, hit the like button, share the stream. And if you want to, keep the lights on, you can drop a couple bucks in the tip jar. It's in the chat right over there. I think it should be right over there on your screen. I don't know where it is. Wherever the chat is in your screen. All right. Shall we dance? 1, 2, 3, and first, a couple trending things today. Now, this is something that I'm pretty sure, I don't know who came up with this, but today is National Voter Registration Day, which I guess they're trying to encourage people to register to vote and whatnot. There's Scott Pressler. Here, sorry, I didn't put it on the screen. There you go. Why isn't that not going? Click. There we go. And nothing's there. Beautiful. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. National Voter Registration Day. Scott Pressler, the prolific register of Republican peoples around the country, says, stop what you're doing. Today is National Voter Registration Day. Please check your voter status to make sure you're an active voter and register to vote in your current address. Type into the internet, your state, check your voter status, and you can do that on National Voter Registration Day. Now, if you're not an American, don't do that. Just, because I know that they're trying to get the the Haitians and the Guatemalans to register to vote. And they're registering a lot of them, certainly unintentionally. and I guarantee you, none of these people who are accidentally registered to vote will vote. But in case they might do that accidentally, it wouldn't hurt. Excuse me. It wouldn't hurt if you you try to counteract that by making sure you're registered to vote and that you vote. All right. Yeah, Avocado Stalby registering is so easy. I did it twice. Yes, in multiple states. So anyway, happy National Voter Registration Day. Here's another one. Scott Presley, 30% of Pennsylvania hunters are not registered to vote. Print off some voter registration forms. Visit your local gun store. Ask the owner if you may leave the forms for their customers. Oh, man. What an idea that. Oh, is she? I don't want to. Oh, no, she's clothed. It was weird. I was like, what's going on there? So anyway, and I know all the lefties are trying to get people registered to vote. And they mean anybody. But anyway, and then there's also this hashtag called Vote Ready. I guess that's what registering to vote would make. Registering the vote makes you vote ready. I would say get your ID updated too, but apparently you don't need an ID to vote in the United States anymore, so whatever. Also, it is Constitution Day. Now, I didn't know there was an official Constitution Day. Is this the day that the Constitution was ratified in, what is it? Was it 1787? Yes, on this day in 1787, the founders signed the Constitution, laying the groundwork for liberty and justice. Good Lord. Over 230 years later, we're still fighting for those freedoms because apparently some people didn't get the memo. Here's the Constitution Day. Throwback to 2023 Moms for Liberty Summit in Philadelphia. Okay, so that's someone on the right saying that. Let's see if there's anyone. Oh, and here we go. By the way, we've got the I'm Just a Bill cartoon dude there. Although this is the Simpson version one, isn't it? Because that's a Simpson mouth. So this is not the original. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Remember that guy? That was like my favorite song when I was a kid. Good morning, furry bastard. And Tyler F. Welcome to the show. Have I missed anybody? I'm looking up there. No. Okay, I'm still on top of things. By the way, if you happen to be watching and you're not in the chat, that's cool. I would like to encourage you to hit the what do you call it? Hit the subscribe button so you can find me next time. Oh, I lost my wrench that I had as the Batman. Oh, you changed your handle. Well, okay, gotcha. That's cool. I will here, fix that. There you go. There, now you are a standard moderator there, Batman. Welcome back, by the way. So anyway, Constitution Day, the day that the Constitution was signed by the founding fathers. Also in the news, P. Diddy, Sean Combs, Puff Daddy. Well, apparently he's been arrested, I think, or something like that. Now this lady says, I'm really old enough to remember when allegedly P. Diddy and J-Lo partied like it was 1999 in Times Square's nightclub where 3 people got shot. Oh my goodness. Diddy boasted about the shooting and that he used J-Lo for a gun mule. He bribed jurors. J-Lo lied. Shine took the fall. Good times. Anyway, P. Diddy has been arrested, according to the New York Post. Embattled rapper and hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs was arrested at a New York City hotel Monday night amid a federal sex trafficking investigation. Officials said the fallen star, 54, voluntarily traveled to the Big Apple in anticipation of his arrest on federal charges stemming from a grand jury indictment, according to prosecutors and sources. Combs, who was photographed walking through Manhattan with his son Christian King, Combs, earlier in the night, was taken into custody at the Park Hyatt, New York, by Homeland Security Investigations, which typically handle sex trafficking probes. I don't want to use the word probe in the line about sex trafficking. Anyway, It was not immediately clear Monday what charges Combs is facing. He is expected to be arraigned at Manhattan Federal Court Tuesday morning. That would be today, at which point the indictment with the charges against him will be unsealed. So this has been kind of in the making, since a bunch of the people who are in P. Diddy's sphere have been talking about this a lot lately, about how kind of freaky everything that Diddy Combs was doing, and even some of the former stars who hung around him that don't any longer. Yeah, they've been spilling the tea, so to speak, as the kids would say. Speaking of spilling the tea, I do have my cup of reparations coffee in the today. It's brought to you by the USS Arizona, aka B39 is this handle. One of the ships that you can still visit at Pearl Harbor, but it's kind of underwater, but they have a big memorial to it. And it was very, very, very solemn place when we visited there, when my only ever trip to Hawaii. So moving on, also in the news, well, here, I'm going to bring up, I mentioned Martha Raddatz from ABC News, and there's this clip of Martha Raddatz. There's a couple clips. This is the one regarding abortion where she's, it's funny, she admits that there are 9 states that there are no restrictions on abortion. Remember when, during the debate, when one of the fact checks that, here it is. Wow, Martha Raddatz acknowledges that 9 states have no restrictions on abortions. In other words, Trump was right in the debate, and the moderators fact checked him with incorrect information. Why haven't David Muir or Lindsey Davis been the ones to correct this? So here's Martha Raddatz talking about that.
Vice President Harris did not make clear whether she supports any restrictions on abortion. Currently, 9 states and the District of Columbia have no gestational ban on abortions. Vice President.
Okay, so that, remember, they said, no, there's no state that allow you to have a 9-month abortion. Well, they technically do. That's exactly. They have no restrictions whatsoever. Now, there was another clip though that wasn't the one I really wanted to show you. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find it. Not regarding abortion, but let me see if did I bookmark that? I hope I did. This is the one. Hang on. Here we go. I'm going to I want to make sure it's in the bookmarks too today, because this is the one related to another statement that that Kamala Harris made. I don't remember if it was during the debate, like her closing statement. But here's Martha Raddatz again. This one's even more significant because there are some people that this affects that also have something to say about it. So here it is.
I want to ask you about her comments about.
By the way, she's talking to, I believe, the chairman of the Harris Walls campaign or something like that. It'll be here.
About the military. She said during the debate this about the U.S. military. Let's listen.
As of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world, the first time this century.
Oh, really? Really? I'm going to let you finish.
Our fact checkers found that to be false, and I have a lot of experience in that area as well. There are currently 900 U.S. military personnel in Syria, 2,500 U.S. troops in Iraq. All have been under regular threat from drones and missiles for months. We also have...
Wait till you hear the answers for this. Wait till you hear it. Wait for it.
Action in the Red Sea. We also, every single day, the Navy SEALs, Delta Forces, special operators can be part of any sort of deadly raid. So why would she make that claim?
Well, I think what's important here, Martha, is that Kamala Harris, in contrast to Donald Trump, demonstrated herself to be commander-in-chief.
She might have well said Kamala Harris was raised in a middle-class family, What does that have to do with the answer? What does that have to do with anything? Hello, Renee Mayette, by the way. And, hang on. Oh, I just saw that. I'll get that in a second.
We are in a world where there are all sorts of conflicts, and it's all the more reason
now,
we need some.
I have to give the interviewer here credit, because she's about to cut her off and say, wait a minute, I asked a specific question. Martha Radaz.
Somebody who's serious and who supports the military. And just remember,
But Governor, excuse me, but she said there is not one member of the United States military who is an active duty in a combat zone. That is not true. You say she demonstrated her ability to be commander-in-chief, but did she not know about these people in Syria and Iraq? Why would she say that?
Look, that was a comment. That was a comment in a debate.
It was just a debate. It was just a debate. It was a debate. It doesn't matter if it was true. It was a debate. You can't hold me accountable for. You can't hold her accountable for something that she says in a debate. It was a debate. Why is that noise there? God bless America. What the hell is going on with this app? I'm going to fix that right now. By the way, thank you. Kara Soldier, who says Hezbollah pagers are apparently exploding. You know, I saw that, and I wish I had. I'll look it up here. That's apparently. I saw one where the guy might have had the pager in his pants too, and it blew up. And basically, I guess not to be too crass. Well, I'm going to be. Blew his own balls off. Well, anyway. And also, thank you, Avocados Diabli. Dropping a small bullet in the tip jar. She said, quote, there is not one active service member in active duty in a war zone. She was right. There are nearly 3,000. Yes, there were. Thank you. Thank you, AD. Always being that devil's advocate. Very good. Very good. So, yeah, anyway, apparently there's what? Wait, where is it? What? Oh, that's something else. Yeah, apparently there are some Hezbollah pagers that have been going off. Here, I'm going to do a search on pagers. Pagers. Okay, here we go. Let's see what comes up here. Let's see what comes up. Dozens of Hezbollah members wounded in Lebanon when pagers exploded, sources and witnesses say. Family Guy warned us, there's always a risk when you're using Palestinian technology. So here it is. Dozens of Hezbollah members wounded in Lebanon when pagers exploded. Okay, the same article. Look at this. Headline, exact same sentence in the first paragraph. Dozens of members of the Lebanese armed group Hezbollah were seriously wounded on Tuesday in Lebanon's south and southern suburbs of Beirut when the pagers they used to communicate exploded, security sources told Reuters. Reuters journalists saw 10 Hezbollah members bleeding from wounds in the southern suburb of Beirut. Now, why did their pagers all explode at the same time? And right here, the pagers are generally kept in their pockets. This means Israel is literally blowing off Hezbollah testicles all across Lebanon today. Hundreds of them. Yeah, I guess they're not wearing them clipped on, but they put them in their pockets. And this guy is agonizing the loss of his testicles, I guess. Important. This is a developing story, and all additional information is preliminary, with numbers and info subject to change. Roughly an hour ago, Hezbollah's encrypted pager devices began simultaneously exploding across Lebanon, including in Damascus. Initial reports from Lebanon estimate that around 1,000 plus casualties so far. Hezbollah has instructed all of its militants to immediately discard their pagers, calling this the most significant security breach they've ever encountered. Iran's Mehr news agency reports that Motaba Amani, Iran's ambassador to Lebanon was injured when a pager exploded. So, did they somehow trade out their pagers? Think of the logistics of having to rig thousands of pagers, making sure it only gets to their hands. What an operation. Yeah, I am just, well, with nothing better to say other than I am blown away by this particular operation. Over 1,000 of them. How did they man, the Mossad is they're on some bullshit. That's some wild shit right there. I will put that in the links. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, there are pagers. We'll put that in the trending X list today if you want to check that out. Let's move on. Let's see. We did that. Oh, next, Hillary Clinton and several things related to Hillary Clinton are trending. Mainly because she's the actual true devil. Sorry, AD, you don't get that title anymore. By the way, good morning, Texas AG 007 and Andrew Thorsten. What's up? Nice to see you guys. Hillary Clinton is trending. And there's several reasons. One of them is, it's funny. They keep saying that Donald John Trump is a threat to democracy. He's an existential threat to your freedom. But in this next breath, they say something like this.
And I don't understand why it's so difficult for the press to have a consistent narrative about how dangerous Trump is.
A consistent narrative. Okay, interesting.
You know, the late, great journalist Harry Evans, one time said that, journalists should, really try to achieve objectivity. And by that, he said, I mean, they should cover the object. Well,
Okay, hold on. Hold on. If they have objectivity, Hillary, dear, they might, and I say just might, have different views because of their objectivity. Meaning they may not all end up thinking the same thing. Apparently you want them all to think the same thing.
object in this case is Donald Trump. His demagoguery, his danger to our country and the world, and stick with it.
Yes, we should make sure that every media outlet has objectivity to call Donald Trump the evil one. Okay. Now that's not the only thing that she said because, and by the way, this is right, same day or right after the assassination attempt of Donald John Trump. So, when you constantly say that he may be a danger to the world, is that not signaling something that you are concerned about, that you want to maybe, well, you know what I mean. Now, the other part of this, though, is when to talk about freedom, Hillary.
Engaged in,
hang on. This one, too. This is amazing. This is something you said in the same interview. And again, remember, they say an existential threat to democracy, blah, 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 blah. Well, here's Hillary Clinton. Here's what Hillary Clinton thinks about you and the things that you might be saying.
And boosting Trump back in 2016. But I also think there are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda. And whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged is something that would be a better deterrence because and boosting Trump back in 2016.
Did she just say that Americans should be criminally and civilly charged for the things that they say that may not agree with Hillary Clinton? Let's just play that again.
But I also think there are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda. And whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged.
trying to remember who did that. There's a Saturday Night Live character. I know nobody watched Saturday Night Live, but there was a character on Saturday Night Live that would come on the news. She would come on the news, and they'd be talking about something, and her favorite line would be, and I quote, "Bitch, please." Yeah, that's the appropriate thing to say right there. But anyway, it's it's funny. Literally one day after they tried again to end Trump, Hillary Clinton is on MSNBC spewing violent rhetoric. Trump is a dictator. The press needs to create a consistent narrative about how dangerous he is. Wow. Gee. So to make sure that he's so dangerous that maybe some nut job will try to I shouldn't even, well, I hate to say, to take a shot, so to speak. Now, it's funny because, and speaking of misinformation, here's a good point right here, too. Hillary Clinton orchestrated the most destructive misinformation campaign in history. It was her abhorrent plan to corruptly cast the President of the United States as a Russian agent. She destabilized not only the country, but also the world, and we're still feeling the effects of it. Why do you think Russia is so distrustful of the West? Hillary Clinton spent, 5 years and still to this day blaming them for something and claiming that the President of the United States was an agent for them and claiming that he's going to destroy the country. That was a bought and paid for misinformation campaign with a dossier collected by a foreign spy colluding with Russian agents to make up shit about her opponent in an election. She has the balls to talk about misinformation. Unfucking believable. Yes, I just swore. And good morning, you're a ridiculous moon enthusiast. Lunatic. GDSOB's in the house. What's up, my brother? Scribe Light. Dog Thrapple. My brother in internet conversation. What's up, Scribe? So, Hillary's got some fucking gall. Oh, I didn't mean to say balls. Did I say balls? I wasn't talking about Michelle Obama. Anyway, she wants criminal penalties for Americans who share disinformation. Isn't that fucking special? So anyway, some other things trending, and probably one of the big reasons. Well, is that today? No. I think it was a year ago today. No, it was last week. A year ago, when the Benghazi thing happened. Benghazi is also trending. Just a video of Hillary Clinton not accepting the results of a free and fair election. Is this misinformation? Oh, and we didn't forget about Benghazi or how you teamed up to spy on the 2016 Trump campaign with a fake dossier. So here's Hillary Clinton lying about why the events in Benghazi happened.
But I was on the way to winning until the combination of Jim Comey's letter on October 28th and Russian WikiLeaks raised doubts in the minds of people who were inclined to vote for me but got scared off. The election meant on October 27th, I'd be your president.
So she's denying the election. Is that misinformation? I don't know. Also, she had this famous line.
Dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make?
YouTube video. Of course it was a YouTube video, Hillary. It was because of a YouTube. Wait a minute. What did she say? Listen to this again. This is incredible. They're asking, talking about whether or not, the reason that this events happened in Benghazi. Listen to the example she cites.
Dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make?
Well, when you lied about it and said it was because of a YouTube video. And what did she say? She said, was it because of a protest or some guys who were just out for a walk some night who wanted to kill some Americans? Where the hell did she pull that one out of? Because that one wouldn't even fit in her ass. I'm just telling you, that's the funniest shit. I forgot about that part. Why did you guys attack that embassy? Well, we were out for a walk and we just felt that, we saw some Americans over there guarding the embassy, and we're like, this would be a great night. It's a beautiful night for attacking an embassy. Yes, let's pull out your gun. Let's start firing and throwing bombs. What the fuck was that? Holy shit. Now other things, there's lots of things trending because of Clinton. Another thing trending is lock her up, which was a theme in the 2016s, I guess. Again, some of the same videos, literally one day after they tried again to kill Trump. Hillary Clinton is on MSNBC spewing violent rhetoric, because that's the theme that Donald Trump's attempted endings by a couple of different people. They're his own fault because of his own violent rhetoric. Not that the Democrats' theme of this year's election is that Donald Trump is the existential threat to the democracy and United States of America, blah blah blah, and then he's a Putin. None of those things would make people mad. Your guy running for president's a Putin puppet. Why can't have a Putin puppet? So anyway, so lock her up is also trending. By the way, that was the part where she said Hillary Clinton says Americans should be criminally charged and jailed for spreading misinformation. Also trending, Russian collusion is trending, and of course, she was one of the. Well, she is the headwaters, so to speak, for the Russian collusion hoax, so to speak. And there you go. So, and it's funny, but she's not turning herself in for that. Someone here, is she turning herself in for the Russian collusion hoax? Let's see what she's on Maddow? Is that what this is? Oh, wait a minute.
And boosting Trump back in 2016. But I also think there are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda. And whether they should be civilly
that's the whether or not they're civilly or criminally charged. Anyway, yeah, right. So, by the way, Montel Williams is trending. And why do I have it here? And it's not for anything he did. It's just that someone put a video up because they're talking about P. Diddy, and they put up this video saying that this is P. Diddy and Kamala Harris. I didn't know that Montel Williams was hanging out with Kamala Harris back in the day, but they said this is P. Diddy.
Long before she met Doug Emhoff, she dated some prominent men, including in 2001.
But why is he holding both their hands?
Montel Williams. Back then, he was the famous one and had to introduce her to the paparazzi.
Okay, so anyway, but that's not P. Diddy. Okay, that's not P. Diddy, because this guy says, here's P. Diddy with Kamala Harris. P. Diddy has been arrested for sex trafficking. Who thinks he should expose everyone in Hollywood? Well, yeah, he should expose everyone in Hollywood, but that is not P. Diddy. That is Montel Williams. I don't know why that's important. It is. Howard is trending. Now, there's 3 different Howards in this list of Howards that are trending. One of them is Howard Stern, because this is Howard Stern in a skit about him, Ted Danson, and Whoopi Goldberg. And he's with Sherman Williams, of all people. But anyway, new Howard Stern has stated that he does not hate Donald Trump, but those who vote for him. Furthermore, he has expressed a lack of respect for Trump voters, described them as stupid, and he doesn't want them to listen to his show. Oh, well, Okay, Howard, I guess I will oblige because I wasn't listening to your show anyway. I forgot you were even on the radio. But yeah, he made a big point. Where is it here? As I scroll down here, it's probably here somewhere. Yeah, Howard Stern basically says that he doesn't want anyone, and he doesn't want any Trump people to watch his show. Okay, well, okay, thanks, Howard. That's great. Another Howard, though, that is trending is Howard Lutnick. He was on CNBC. And he's talking about the 16 Nobel Prize winning economist who apparently opposed President Trump's economic plan. So let's watch a little clip here of this. Oops, wait, right there we go. Howard Lutnick. I'm not sure who Howard Lutnick is, but anyway.
It's like, you remember the 51 intelligence officers who said the Biden laptop was a Russian disinformation?
Yes, I do.
Under Biden's laptop, which the FBI must have known in about, what do you think, 10 seconds they knew it was real? So that's like saying 15 Nobel laureates, including Janet Yellen's husband, writes and signs a piece of paper saying this economics is better than the other. It's just partisan nonsense. I hear you. It's nonsense.
Okay, that's one thing he said. Let me scroll down and find another thing he said. Is this the same one? No, this is a different one.
Who's going to fill out all the different cabinet positions?
See, I'm in a position to tell you I'm building a mosaic of the
Oh, by the way, this is
this
Howard Lutnick would be if President Trump is reelected, he would be heading the transition team. So that's what they were. Why he was on CNBC talking about Trump's economic plans.
The people who were going to serve the president of the United States was just elected by everybody.
You can't even tell us a wish list at this point. Then let's talk, and we're eventually going to have to talk about tariffs. But all the different.
By the way, he's going to knock down this myth that the tariffs would hurt Americans more than they would help Americans. That's part of the discussion they wanted to have here.
Moving parts of the opposing economic plans from Vice President Harris versus President Trump. How do you characterize the big picture, the differences?
I think it's just partisan politics. It's amazing. It's like, you remember the 51
we heard this part
intelligence officers. It was just knew it was real. So it's like saying 15 Nobel laureates, including Janet Yellen's husband, writes and signs a piece of paper saying this economics is better than the other. It's just partisan nonsense.
I hear you.
It's nonsense.
I saw it in the debate, and I even saw David Solomon last week say that that was totally.
Oh, you should read. You know what? No one's read the Goldman report.
No,
if you read the Goldman report, it is nonsense. It just says, let's assume that it's the worst set of circumstances. We put in tariffs, right? And every other country in the world matches the tariffs. And then let's go see what happens. I mean, this is just kind of nonsense.
Of a point. But it also had to do with open borders.
But it's nonsense, right? Oh, our prices for labor are going to come down because we're going to employ 30,000 new immigrants a month.
Policy differences, though, would you say? That was my question. What is Kamala Harris proposing, Vice President Harris, and what is former President Trump proposing, for example, to fight inflation, to engender growth, to pay off the debt, to
stop! There's nobody proposing anything that would pay off the debt. Now, if Trump won and went in there and started slashing government like they did in Argentina, then I might say, fuck yeah. I'm voting for Trump because he won't fuck it up as bad as Kamala Harris, and probably has some smarter ideas about American jobs. And that's one of the big reasons. Plus the fact that she's a San Francisco loony liberal. Okay, let's just be honest. But I would love for the United States to go full, start cutting shit and actually cutting the budget. Because that's what we need to do. That would strengthen everything in America. But do they want that? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. But anyway.
Try and narrow the deficit. What are the differences?
Okay, there's only one way to break inflation, okay? And that is to bring down energy costs. The only tool that you really have to break inflation is to bring down, you have to stop producing.
And they already made it harder because they approved or did blow up the Nord Stream, which was which is one of the reasons that oil prices are still high, because the Russians can't move their oil into the markets they want to. And even though we are producing more energy, there's no trade-off or there's no balance because we have to, and we're not keeping up with what would have been traded. So that's why oil prices didn't come down. And so that's a major problem. And that's something nobody wants to talk about, because we're not supposed to do anything that supports Russia. Because then you'd be a Russian agent. Okay. And look, fuck Russia for being in Ukraine, but you can kind of understand it the way the encroachment of NATO has been on Russia. Now, does that justify their going into Donbass and killing a bunch of people and starting a war and blah, blah, blah? Maybe not, but they sure weren't getting any assurances from anyone else. And the fact that Hillary Clinton started this demonization campaign in 2016 of Russia, after just a few years earlier, she was pressing that little fake Russian reset button. What the fuck? And then, but anyway, it was fun. It was funny though, because it kind of redeemed Mitt Romney's take on America's greatest geopolitical foe. When he said Russia, when he was running against Obama in 2004, or no, not 2004, which 2008, 2012. And he said Russia was our greatest geopolitical foe. And Barack Obama said, oh, the 80s called and they want their foreign policy back. Remember that line? And then 4 years later, Hillary Clinton, after failing really to get respect from Russia, decided that she would try to make Donald Trump a Russian agent in just a blatantly heavy-duty misinformation campaign. So I'm sure you all remember that. But anyway.
Money, God knows.
Oh, good morning, Selecta Boy.
Yeah, boy. Stop printing money, because we all know where inflation comes from, right? Inflation.
Okay, thank you for reminding me. I need to get back to this. And Rockhopper, what's up? Good morning. You can watch this on your own. I'll leave it in the links. It's under the Howards. The third Howard was Howard Kurtz on Fox News. Or not, talking about ABC's debate, and here's 2 minutes of Howard Kurtz. Then we're going to get into the main topic.
ABC News was anything but fair and balanced when it came to the Philadelphia showdown. The moderators, anchor David Muir and GMA and Nightline correspondent Lindsay Davis, asked Trump tougher questions with more follow-ups and 5 corrections of what he said compared to 0 for Vice President Harris. The bias was absolutely unmistakable.
The cronyism occurring between the ABC moderators and the Democrat Party was on full display last night.
David Muir didn't say, well, Madam Vice President, are you going to answer that question? Or he did do that with Trump.
And here's what it looked like.
I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking.
Lie.
That's not true. She said Joe Biden would oppose fracking.
Lie.
Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath.
Lie!
If this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking.
Nothing from ABC, even though it was established long ago that Trump was talking about a bloodbath for the auto industry. It was the same story when Harris accused Trump of wanting to sign a national abortion ban and pursuing the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025, both of which he has disavowed. There were crickets from ABC. But when the former president said crime was rising,
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country.
Lie!
Yet the mainstream media heaped praise on the ABC moderators. This New York Times headline, ABC's matter-of-fact moderators built factual guardrails around Trump. But what I've been asking is, that the role of a news organization? Trump came into the spin room and spun, saying this may have been his best debate ever. The next day, he called ABC really dishonest in talking to Fox and Friends and told supporters this about David Muir and Lindsay Davis.
Those two people should be fired as an anchor. A couple of more years, they'll be fired. And she was nasty. She looked at me with hatred in her eyes. I'm not going to watch him because he's not legit. What he did, I'm not going to watch him. And his hair's not as good as it used to be.
I I don't agree that all journalists are dishonest, but ABC's unmistakable tilt against Trump was an embarrassment, seeming to vindicate his pregame criticism of the network as unfair. I'm Howard Kurtz, and this is Media Buzz.
All right, so anyway, there's that. That's the other Howard trending. Let's get into let's get into the media. Wait. Oh, stopped. Oh, now so the other interesting thing here. So now there's this media spin that has been blaming Donald Trump for these attempts, or, well, I guess the second wasn't necessarily attempt, but it certainly was a staged up attempt on his life, right? And the big spin in the media is the rhetoric of Donald Trump saying that he's almost saying, Donald Trump shouldn't be wearing that short skirt, if you know the metaphor. And so I wanted to go through some of the rhetoric surrounding Donald Trump, not by Donald Trump, but about Donald Trump. And in fact, let's start with this little gaffe by what's her name? Stacey Plaskett. She's the U.S. representative in Congress from the Virgin Islands. Now listen to this. Listen. She makes a little slip here, and I just want to make sure you catch the slip. Maybe you won't catch it. Maybe you will. Maybe you will catch the slip, and maybe you won't. Here it goes.
Having Trump not only have had the codes, but now having the classified information for Americans and being able to put that out and share it in his resort with anyone and everyone who comes through should be terrifying to all Americans, and he needs to be stopped.
No! Oh, what? Did she have a little Freudian slip there? I wonder if she's the reason that dude was down in Florida casing the golf course. By the way, he was there for 12 hours waiting for this little event he was planning. And so now there's a question, why was he there 12 hours? But anyway, so that's why Stopped is trending. Let's see. Now here's old Dan Goldman. Dan Goldman. Let's see if we remember.
He has to be eliminated.
Let's see, remembering this rhetoric from the Democrats. On Donald Trump.
Unquestionable at this point that man cannot see public office again. He is not only
Really? What if he's elected? You're like saying that it's essentially he cannot see office. What if he's elected, Dan?
Fit. He is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated.
Well, that's an interesting choice of words, Dan. What when you say eliminated? What did you mean there? Now, maybe too. Now Joy Reid was trending too because of her of her monologue. And actually, I haven't heard the whole thing, but I do want to watch it. It's 3 minutes long, but I need to hear Joy Reid. And what's funny is she comes out here wearing Donald Trump's hair. I mean, what the fuck? You're supposed to be against Donald Trump, but you're wearing his hair? Look at that. What? And you know what's bad about this? It doesn't even look like she put it on right. She just threw it up on her head. She tried to do the Donald Trump comb over. Here's Joy Reid. By the way, see if any of this rhetoric might make people want to do bad things to Donald Trump.
Our American idiot, Donald John Trump, a third-rate real estate developer from Queens who was desperate to break into the big leagues in Manhattan and to be respected.
A third-rate real estate developer? He developed a lot of buildings in New Why is she wearing his hair? I don't understand it. My God, I didn't even know he donated some of his hair, but she's wearing it. How did she get it?
By the blue-heeled elites he so claims to despise. First appeared on the Soviet Union's radar in 1977 when he married his first wife, Ivana Zelnikova, a Czech model.
By the way, this is a whole diatribe on Trump connections to Russia. Of course, this is MSNBC. She's trying to take over Rachel Maddow's spot, I guess. I don't know.
And he allegedly became the target of a spying operation overseen by
Did he
Czechoslovakia's intelligence service in cooperation with the KGB.
Oh, you mean before the wall came down? Not that wall, the Berlin Wall.
3 years later, he opened his first big property development in New York, the Grand Hyatt, buying 200 television sets from a Soviet emigre and KGB asset.
Oh, my God. He bought 200 television sets from a Russian. Oh, this is... she's reaching like Captain Fantastic. I'm just saying.
Who co-owned an electronics shop on Fifth Avenue.
Oh, my God.
The asset befriended Trump and got in the habit of flattering him. In 1987, Donald and Ivana visited Russia, pumped full of talking points that the operative reportedly fed him by stoking his ego and telling him he should go into politics. To understand how to exploit our...
1987? Well, if that's something he should have done, why did he wait till 2016? Why did he wait almost 30 years? Or 40? No. 16, 30, yeah, almost 30 years later, it finally clicked in his head that maybe he should. By the way, I also remember Oprah Winfrey asking him if he was going to run for president. Is she also a Russian asset? I'm just curious.
Our American idiot, the Soviets studied his personality. Word started to spread that our American idiot might run for the Republican nomination for president in 1988.
1988? Oh, isn't that the same year that Biden had to drop out of the race because of plagiarism? Wow, I wonder if the Russians had anything to do with that.
And shortly after he returned from Moscow, he took a full-page ad out in the New York Times declaring that there's nothing wrong with America's foreign policy that a little backbone can't cure. It took the form of an open letter to the American people on why America should stop paying to defend countries that can afford to defend themselves.
That sounds kind of logical. You know, step it up, all you countries. And now, granted, they were still worried about Germany and shit. Thank you, Avocados Diabli, who says, by the way, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Yes, you were that already, but I didn't say it last time. Trump is a plant by Czechoslovakia and the Soviets. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, right? Oh, my God.
The ad criticized Ronald Reagan's foreign policy and implied skepticism about U.S. participation in NATO.
Okay.
The night it first ran, he went on CNN and was asked about NATO.
This is CNN.
There are many other countries and taking tremendous advantage of this, including NATO. If you look at the payments that we're making to NATO, they're totally disproportionate with everybody else's, and it's ridiculous.
Fast forward to 2016, that American idiot, Donald John Trump, actually became president, due almost entirely to his celebrity as a former reality TV star on NBC.
Wait, no help from the Russians? Oh, wait, I'm going to let you speak.
And now, as an ex-president, having committed serial crimes before, during, and after his presidency.
Lies? Oh, my God. Yeah, they had to twist the law quite a bit to make any of what he has done as a crime, but, you know, and it probably is all going to get struck down.
Including fomenting an attempted coup to try to remain in office.
An attempted coup? I would love to have to debate with somebody about that. It's very interesting. This is amazing. because this so-called attempted coup, right? Why was he trying to find legal ways with lawyers to find ways to dispute the election and get ballots counted? What was the purpose of the rally on January 6th? Was it an attempted coup, or was it to delay the certification of the vote on January 6th so they could finish out the remaining lawsuit that was still on the table? Why, even with the fake electors thing, they say the fake electors, right? Well, why do you think they did that? Why did you think they had a set of alternate electors set up? Because if they would have been successful in getting a court case to actually count ballots or do whatever, if they would have found that in some of these places there was fraud. We don't know if there was, but if they had found any, then you would have had to have a set of electors that would represent the side that won, as opposed to the side that you thought won before. Everything they did, they tried to do through legal means. Now, January 6th obviously turned out to be a debacle, because when the ralliers who were at the speech got to the Capitol, they found a direct path to the Capitol instead of a path to where they had already reserved to continue their rally. Why was that? Well, because some assholes during the rally over in the ellipsis, or whatever they called it, wherever Trump was speaking, some assholes were already at the Capitol knocking down barriers that were a more direct path. And so when the rest of the people got there, they came straight up that path thinking that that was where they were supposed to go. And then when the idiots, and look, we don't know why those idiots were out there prior to the continuing rally on the part of the Capitol grounds that were reserved, why they were going straight up to the Capitol and some were trying to break windows and get in, because some asshole kept saying, we need to go into the Capitol. How many of those people were saying, we need to go into the Capitol? I know one of them was that, what's his name? Hey, you can call me Ray, and you can call me Jay, and you can call me Ray J. Ray Epps. And then also one of the assholes breaking windows was a Antifa plant from Washington, Jonathan, whatever his name is, who's now in jail. And when they got in, he's yelling, we did it, we got in here. They need to burn this shit down. And also, the people got up in there, and all of a sudden, there's a bunch of flashbangs being deployed into a crowd that was being completely peaceful at one point, other than up on scaffolding and stuff. But they weren't doing damage, and all of a sudden, a bunch of flashbangs get thrown into the crowd. The crowd got a little riled up, and then they started fighting with the people along the edge of the police barricades, because some of them started hitting them with batons. So yeah, there was some scuffling and whatnot. But an attempted coup? Why use all the lawyers trying to come up with legal theories on how to contest the election then, if you're just going to have a coup? Why, once January 6th was over and the vote was certified, they gave up on the last lawsuit, and there was a peaceful transfer of power on the day it was supposed to happen, January 20th. That's not much of a coup. An attempted coup? Oh, you mean the great selfie insurrection that once they got in the Capitol, most people were just taking selfies and looking around and taking pictures of the officers and shit? Yeah, a couple of idiots got into Pelosi's office and messed it up a little bit. Stole her laptop. The one guy with the horns got a fucking guided tour from police officers. An attempted coup? The great selfie insurrection. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The great selfie insurrection. Yeah, no guns, no knives, no weapons other than flagpoles that some of the guys were scuffling with the police. Oh, and apparently a fire extinguisher that did not hit Brian Sicknick. Yeah, an attempted coup. Shut the fuck up. Oh, no, but they had the gallows. They were saying hang Mike Pence. Gallows that you couldn't hang a midget on. Like toy gallows. Shit.
After losing his bid for re-election because of how incompetent he was as president, that Donald John Trump is still peddling those same pro-Russia talking points.
Pro-Russia.
Talking points so perfectly aligned
Russia.
with the Kremlin.
Perfectly,
It's almost as if he was still receiving them from Moscow.
Oh, you mean he was receiving them from Moscow before, Joy? When would that happen? Do you have any evidence? Do you have, without, she says without evidence. That's their new line.
Russia helped get Donald Trump elected in 2016, according to the Mueller report.
No, that's not what the Mueller report said. It didn't help him get elected. There's no, in fact, it said there was no evidence that any votes were changed because of the Jesus arm wrestling with whatever, the devil fucking memes. Interfered in the election. Oh my God, they had a Facebook page that about 100 people saw. Wow, that absolutely changed the election. Hello, selected. I already said that. Oh, Damien, hi, what's up? Damien Gershwin's in the house. Oh my God.
By exploiting American social and racial divisions and amplifying them online.
Wow, exploiting America's social and racial divisions. The Russians produced the Joy Reid show? Oh my God, I didn't know. Wow. That's what that's every day on your show, Joy. Self-awareness. You must not have mirrors in your house. Well, obviously, the way you put that wig on. Anyway.
And by stealing Hillary Clinton's emails and exploiting the news media's voracious interest.
Oh my God! The Russians didn't do that either. And the FBI knows it. They had the laptop from that poor soul that leaked the information from the Democratic National Committee. They have it. You know his name. The Russians. Hair on fleek? No. That's holy shit.
Them. And former KGB spy Vladimir Putin, who has been dictator of Russia in one way or another for nearly 25 years, is getting bolder and more blatant in his determination to subordinate the United States to him, to rebuild the Soviet Union by annexing Ukraine, which he lectured another American idiot, Tucker Carlson, belongs to Russia, and by openly jailing and killing his opposition with impunity.
Openly jailing and... Well, not killing, but openly jailing your opposition with impunity. Yeah, that sounds kind of familiar. You kind of wish we could do that here, don't you, Joy?
The latest victim being Alexei Navalny.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, no, by the way, Putin is an asshole. The whole Russian system is a little bit fucked up like when that goes. So I don't deny that at all. But damn. Hot kettle.
One of our two major political parties, with his fellow Republicans parroting Russian talking points.
What? Please, I want to know the specific Russian talking points with referenced examples that you are talking about, because you keep saying it. Oh, you mean anything that opposes what Democrats wants to do? That would be parroting Russian talking points. With your Trump hair?
It's to the point where it's almost parody.
Really? Again, citation needed. Show me the Russian talking points and the corresponding Republican talking point. I'm waiting. That was the end of that. Thank God. So anyway, that's why Joy Reid's trending. Painful to watch, if you can, the entire 4 minutes. This from earlier this year. Joy Reid claims the Russians have been grooming Trump to be a Russian agent since 1977. That was a hilarious segment. That's not even from recent, but holy shit. She had that Trump hair going, boy. She had that Trump hair going. Anyway, also speaking of which, now there's a couple people who surprised me today. Here's Chris Cuomo. And this may surprise you. Chris Cuomo actually apologized to Donald Trump. What? I don't get. Oh, I don't want. Wait a minute. I don't want the. Is there a version without music? Here, let's try this. Here's because anyway, listen to this.
But he doesn't deserve this.
Like
a guy pointing an AK-47 at him while he's playing golf. And we take solace in the fact that the guy didn't get any rounds off. That does not work for me. If I had been through what that guy's been through in the last 2 months, you would not know where I am. You would never see me on TV again. No way I would do that. I don't know how he does it. He's got kids. He's got grandkids. He's got a wife. People giving crap to Melania Trump, worrying about whether or not there was a plot around his husband. How could she not? I totally get why she feels that way, and people mock her. And then her husband has a guy pointed with an AK-47. Where are those people apologizing?
Now, yes, Avocado Diablo, very good point. Cuomo has been a lot more honest without the yoke of corporate press on him. Oh yeah, he has. He's certainly, now look, it doesn't mean he changed his political position, but he's absolutely looking at this big picture going, hey, you're fucked up and you're fucked up and some of the shit just don't fly with me. Okay, good for Chris Cuomo. I've gained a lot more respect for him since he's left. This is CNN. And somebody here says Chris Cuomo made an excellent recovery from absolute bias since leaving CNN. Now that he joined the civilized society, I can agree with the man. So yeah, the whole 17 minutes of that is in this Chris Cuomo link. Also, Scott Jennings. Now Scott Jennings has been awesome, and because the big thing is they're saying, oh yeah, Trump's rhetoric is why people keep trying to assassinate him. Oh wait, Trump's rhetoric is why? Trump's rhetoric is why? You mean the guy who's going to destroy democracy, the guy that's an existential threat to our country, the guy that is like the guy with the funny mustache? That's that guy? You mean that rhetoric is not making people want to take him out? Here's Scott Jennings.
But the rhetoric is on both sides. It's
on both sides.
It's coming from the left.
The rhetoric, they have tried to kill this man twice, okay? He got shot in the ear, and this guy was setting up shop outside of a golf course to try to kill him this weekend. And I know after something like this happens, it's very fashionable to, talk about rhetoric on both sides. Donald Trump is the target, okay? He's the current target, and it's happening, and it's happened again. And I just, honestly, we have to have a...
Oh, Renee, okay, Renee says, if I were him, I wouldn't be on TV. Cuomo isn't unbiased. I'm not saying he's unbiased. I'm just saying he's more truthful. He's seeing the rest of the picture now. And he'll say when he sees the rest of the picture, rather than being yoked by, this is CNN, to only see this. At least he sees everything. Now he's still over here, but he sees it all now. And he's talking about it all and not holding back on things he sees that are bullshit from his own side. So that's what I'm saying. He's absolutely still biased, but he's more honest. It's kind of like Jimmy Dore. I don't agree with Jimmy Dore's politics at all. I think he's very wrong on what things should be. But Jimmy Dore is honest about the bullshit from the Democrats. He's not a shill for one side. And so some people take that as, well, Jimmy Dore has changed his sides. No, he hasn't. Jimmy Dore is absolute leftist still. But he's honest about the bullshit that comes from the left. So there you go. Moving on.
Conversation about elections. if you lose an election, the country's not going to come to an end, okay? What I want Democrats...
Oh, this is the part I wanted to hear, because he's saying if Trump wins, and I was saying this yesterday, if Trump wins, no, it's not the end of democracy. No, it's not an existential threat. I'm having a hard time saying it. No, because our system won't allow him to be a dictator on day one, which that's a whole other lie they keep telling. Look, again, our constitutional government is set up not to make the president that powerful. The president can't just decree shit, although Joe Biden keeps trying, student loans, but they can't. There's so many checks and balances. First of all, it's a co-equal branch of government. The Congress, the executive, the judicial are all separate branches and have their own power. Plus, to change our system of government, which saying that they want to make it, he wants to be a dictator, he might have to change the Constitution. And there are not 3/4 of states that are going to agree with Donald Trump on major changes to the Constitution. You can't even get the Constitution's been pretty tough to change. So, it ain't happening. But anyway.
Fashionable to, talk about rhetoric on both sides. Donald Trump is the target. Okay, he's the current target, and it's happening, and it's happened again. And I just, honestly, we have to have a conversation about elections. If you lose an election, the country's not going to come to an end, okay? What I want Democrats to do, honestly, is to say, it's okay. Like, if Donald Trump wins, democracy will not end, the Constitution will not end, we're not going to live in a dictatorship, there will not be a bloodbath. All the things they say that are totally fabricated, to me, it would be a good day to stop doing that. The most important thing that could possibly happen, in my opinion, is for everybody to agree, especially Democrats, that the country is not going to be irreparably damaged if Democrats lose, that our Constitution is not going to go away, democracy is not going to come to an end.
Absolutely.
There will be no bloodbath, there will be no dictatorship on day one, which they all say all day long on this network and others. If everyone could just agree that that kind of hyperbolic statement will not take place anymore and that it's not been true every time it's been said, that would be a step in the right direction. And I know everybody's talking today about all the rhetoric in this country and what are we going to do to fix it going forward. Folks, it's too late. It's too late, in my opinion, because all the rhetoric about Donald Trump over the last several years, that he's a threat to democracy, that the country will come to an end if he gets elected president again. Even over the weekend, we had people blaming him and J.D. Vance for a bomb threat in Springfield. Well, if you have believed that over the weekend, then how can you not believe that the rhetoric leading up to today is not somehow responsible for the fact that this man has now survived 2 assassination attempts? So what I want Democrats to do, honestly, is...
It's over and over. He says the same thing, but that's the point why he's trending. So anyway, American's pastor... I was going to tell you this one earlier. I got a few news items, and it's already too late. But apparently there's an American pastor detained in China who has been released. He was... Here, the U.S. State Department says a Christian pastor from California has been freed from China after nearly 20 years behind bars and is back home in the U.S. advocacy groups say 68-year-old David Lin was detained after he entered China in 2006 and was convicted of contract fraud and sentenced to life in prison. Apparently, he was detained after he entered China in 2006, later convicted of contract fraud, sentenced to life in prison, according to the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom and Advocacy Groups. Praise God, we got the call late last night. Dad is free and over Alaska now, the pastor's daughter, Alice Lynn, said in a text message Sunday to Bob Fu, a longtime supporter and the founder of China Aid, a U.S.-based advocacy group for persecuted activists in China. Fu shared with the Associated Press a screenshot of the text sent before the Lins reunited. So that's great news. That is great news. In other headlines today, I have a whole bunch of articles and editorials regarding this Trump shooting. So in Human Events, just talking about the fact that they tried. This guy is an editorial saying that they will try it again. They'll keep trying this. For the minute he won the Republican nomination in 2016, the media and their deep state allies have been trying their very hardest to inspire someone to provide a final solution to their biggest problem, which is Donald Trump. Pretty heavy article there. Breitbart exclusive, Ned Ryan, the administrative state views Trump as an existential threat. And they keep using that word. Well, if something is an existential threat and you describe it that way, what do the nut jobs think? Well, what do you do with it as existential threat? That's, their rhetoric is part of the problem. So goes into many details there. Behind the black, partisan Democrats hate so much they are willing to commit that word and worse, and now they openly admit it. They're coming for you next. The word, this is the last one I'm going to do. There's tons of articles. I'll drop them in the links. The words couldn't have made it clearer. When asked by a reporter of the Daily Mail what he thought of his father's actions, the son of attempted Trump assassin Ryan Routh said that his father hates Trump as every reasonable person does. I don't like Trump either. That was his answer. Not that, my father probably should have done that, but that he hates Trump. The problem is that reasonable people don't hate. Reasonable people think about the differing opinions of others and decide as rationally as possible what they think might be the right answer. And if reasonable people are faced with a true evil, they don't act with hatred. They instead follow the biblical mantra, don't condemn the sinner, only the sin. Routh's son, however, illustrates the contrasting attitude of the base. And this describes Democrat. If you look, I always ask this question, and maybe I don't ask it out loud, but I ask it to myself in my head. Who is more hate-filled? Because they always say the right is hateful. Do you consider the people who hate Donald Trump as hate-filled? I do. There's a dude, Joe Walsh, on the internet who's constantly tweeting about Trump, constantly about Trump being an existential threat. He's a threat to democracy. He's going to destroy democracy. He's, goes the Hitler thing, and he puts rants on constantly, just foaming at the mouth rants about his hatred for Donald Trump. If you listen to that long enough, you're gonna be like, God, we need to do something about this guy. And it is pure hatred, and they don't even see that they're filled with hate when they do it. It's amazing. So anyway, Ralph's son, however, illustrates the contrasting attitude of the base as well as the leadership of today's Democratic Party. They don't simply disagree with Trump, they hate. Worse, they think that hatred is reasonable and that everyone reasonable agrees with it. Thus, you get 2 assassination attempts in just over 2 months against Donald Trump, whose only crime, according to Democrats, is that he's running for president against them and has said that he will change the governmental policies they believe in. Reasonable Democrats can't tolerate such a possibility, so therefore, these reasonable Democrats appear out of nowhere over and over again, attempting to kill the source of their hatred. It is with the same mindless hatred that allowed Kamala Harris, as well as the Democratic Party operatives running the Trump-Harris debate last week, to repeat slanderous lie after slanderous lie. Here's the list of a sampling. Project 25, lie. Or 2025, national abortion ban, that's a lie. Very fine people hoax, that's a lie. We'll be a dictator, that's a lie. Blaming Trumps for Afghanistan, that's a big lie. Racism and division by Trump, no, that existed long before Trump. Never said she will ban fracking, that's a lie. Rally goers leaving early, that's a lie. I will go over my plan, that's a lie. Police died on January 6th, that's a lie. Bloodbath comment, lie. Trump's stance on IVF, a lie. Won't take guns, a lie. Trump weak on foreign policy, that's a lie. Trump friends with Putin, and lie. Trump inciting January 6th, that's a lie. No military in combat zones, we saw that, was a lie. Every single one of these claims by Harris or the ABC moderators is easily debunked by just a tiny bit of research, especially the very fine people accusation against Trump and that he, quote, incited, end quote, the riot on January 6th. In both cases, there is clear video showing Trump doing the exact opposite of the claim, yet Democrats are so filled with hate Rather than finding out how these claims are lies, they buy into them wholesale without question because it allows them to stoke their hatred so it can grow and blossom. Thus, we get 2 attempts to end Trump within 8 weeks. And we should not be surprised if more such attempts take place before the election, and if Trump should win, expect more attempts. The Democratic Party and its most loyal supporters are no longer rational. In fact, they are the very last thing from reasonable. They are hate-filled ideologues ready to kill for the sake of their absolutely certain beliefs, no matter how false. Should Kamala Harris somehow win the presidency, expect far worse from the party that she represents. Tolerance of free speech will end, so will free elections. America will be one step closer to Venezuela and East Germany and North Korea. Okay, that's a little hyperbolic, but whatever. The kind of socialist hells that always occur when leftists take power. Well, if they take complete power, both houses of Congress, and start getting some more states, yeah, you can see it. Thank God we have a constitutional republic that you can't change the Constitution without 3/4 of the states. But they'll probably want to change that too. We have been warned as clearly as it is possible to do. It still remains unclear whether America will heed that warning. So anyway, that's the editorial from a site called Behind the Black. I got all kinds of articles and links today, including the ones that we've gone through. I will drop those in the chat momentarily because I'm trying to click out these unnecessary links here, which I have successfully done now. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on the Morning Night Live. I am here Monday through Friday, this same time, this same channel. Just hit the like button, share the stream, do all that stuff. Thanks, AD, for sponsoring the show. And also, if you're just watching out of the blue and you're not normally here, just somehow you ended up here, hit the damn subscribe button. That's a no-brainer, okay? All right, that's it. Got to go. Here come the links. Copy and paste. My name is P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.